What is this character? Welcome to Screen Source episode 56. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing real good.
Oh, yeah. Having a great
You got the gun fingers? What is Screen Source? It's a film and television news reviews. And trailers show here on Color Circuit. That's right, the network for film, comedy, and games.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like it's just coming off the top of my head.
In partnership with the good people at YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. We are now officially partners. We've made it. We did it. Thank you for we hit our subscriber cap. Not cap. Definitely not cap. No. We hit our subscriber
More
minimum.
people
Our prerequisite.
Yeah. Don't subscribe.
Don't
We just capped
unsubscribe,
out.
just
We
We're
just
good.
walked
We're
out.
good. We don't need anyone else.
We're going to be watching the trailer for Fighting with My Family. But before we watch that, I want to give you just a quick preview on what we're going to be talking about in news today. What are we talking about in news?
It turns out the Satanic Temple was right and the devil is God. No. They're suing Netflix for the Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot.
And we'll get into it in just a minute. What are you talking about?
I have the unhappy responsibility of reporting on the death of Stan Lee.
That's right. We got to honor him. What are you talking about?
A Breaking Bad movie?
You said it just like Collider would say it on the title of the article. Anyways, let's get to this Fighting with My Family trailer, and then we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching that. Give me the remote. No. It's off.
Zach, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing? You really want to choke her out in a lot of fingers?
Yeah.
Now pull it tight. Oh, yeah. Now she's in trouble.
Wait, I know you. You're from that weird family, aren't you?
We're not weird.
We don't like wrestling.
How do you know if you've never been?
I've never had rectal bleeding before, but I'm pretty sure I'm not a fan of that.
How about I shove her head up your ass and then we can find out? Hello?
My name is Hutch Morgan. I'm calling from WWE. We'd like both of you to come try out for us.
Right? Yeah.
It's all fake anyways.
Fucking Lena Eddie is Saria Knight.
Yep.
We're huge fans.
Thank you so much.
What advice would you give us? We want to be the next you.
What are your names again?
Mine
It
is.
doesn't matter what your names are. You walk around here interrupting the rock you like you haven't seen the sun in 20 years. You like you just stepped out of Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more advice, sir? You want some advice? Here's the rock's advice. Shut your mouth.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Got it.
Yes.
Good morning, wrestling nerds. Well, this is where we see whether or not you get to go on to WWE.
This is our shot, Zach.
Hello.
Why do you want to wrestle?
I'm the toughest
What's his
bastard
name?
in any room.
Vince Vaughn?
Probably shouldn't swear.
I think he's
I'm one of
supposed
those
to be
ladies
Jake the
present.
Snake.
Sorry, miss. Sorry about that.
That's supposed to be.
If I call your name, that means you'll be coming with me to Florida. Paige. Thank you all very much.
Yes,
Damn.
take my brother. No one deserves this more than Zach.
I wish you the best, son, but this is the end of the line for you.
Do you know what it's like to want one thing in life, and then your own sister takes it away from you?
It was my dream too.
I have no idea who I'm supposed to be out there.
You're not just doing this for you. You're doing it for the family.
Paige, I myself have come from a wrestling family too. I know exactly what it means to you. But don't worry about being the next me. Be the first you.
Rock is so wise.
What?
It's Dwayne Johnson. How are you?
Prove it.
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Yeah, and I'm Vin Diesel, mate.
I'm sorry.
Written in
Merchant.
the Are You Shitting Me?
Whoa! I saw
Okay.
him in it.
All
Okay.
right, I had no idea
Me
that
neither.
he was the one who put he put the fucking whole script treatment together for this.
Oh.
Because I'm a big fucking fan
fuck
of
yeah.
Stephen Merchant.
Yes.
Wow.
Who did The Office extras?
Yep.
Ricky
The
Gervais
original.
show.
The
Yeah.
Fucking wowzers.
Written and directed by Stephen Merchant.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go. And it looks like he's the sole writer, at least on the wiki page. It's
Sure.
probably
Right.
he probably had
Nice.
Dude, there's
Wow.
no,
I'm in.
especially for all for the contingent of us that are all wrestling bros.
All I know is that Connor's not allowed to talk on this reaction. Connor, host of Sit Down and Pile Drive, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
All right.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
So,
You getting his water?
I spilled it. I'm just so excited to be talking about this. I'm definitely going to be seeing this. it's kind of sad now that we're getting a Paige movie.
You're right.
Because
Bittersweet.
right,
her
yeah.
story ends in early retirement.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a woman
Yes.
that was actually a wrestler.
Yes.
That recently retired.
She had to retire.
I'm all caught up.
Yeah.
She hurt herself?
She was very badly injured.
Well, Paige
How, though? It was
had
fake.
been wrestling since she was 12.
yeah. Yeah.
She
Grew
had
up in
been
a
wrestling
family
for already a decade by the time she got to WWE. Spent quite a few years in their developmental FCW before it became NXT.
Youngest women's champion.
Yeah, she's the first NXT women's champion. She, along with very few other women, really one other woman, completely changed the way women's wrestling is viewed.
Right.
At least in WWE. And honestly,
Because it went from I remember
from
Sable
women's
Bomb.
women's wrestling for the longest
Divas.
time was 3 minutes. That usually
It was a piss break.
It was referred to as the bathroom break. It was treated as such. It was treated as such by WWE management.
Yeah.
Right.
They hired really only like
Models.
fitness models.
Yeah.
Basically,
So they could
yeah.
do basic athletic stuff. Didn't
skimpiest
didn't
outfits.
train
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Didn't train them at all.
No.
And,
And
it was
they would
treated
get
as-
injured left and right.
So Paige was really one of the first names to be treated with respect because WWE they had Gail Kim, Mickie James, they had women who could wrestle, but since they weren't considered attractive,
they weren't the same
Right.
flavor of eye candy,
Yeah.
basically.
WWE doesn't have a great history.
No,
but it's
no.
but it's made
God.
steps.
honestly, yeah, they have actually. It's a little bit transparent, but
Gotcha.
but the fact that they're giving women
own
30-minute
pay-per-view?
matches, their own pay-per-view, which was incredible.
Right.
Evolution was fantastic. So the story of Paige is honestly a fascinating one.
Yeah.
Because women's wrestling is something that is only getting bigger now
Yeah.
because of what WWE, because of what Paige did.
Gotcha.
Right.
And it's crazy because most of her groundbreaking shit is in NXT.
Right.
When she went to the main roster, they still were kind of just dicking around with 5-minute matches.
Although the hilarious part was that they did need to change the faction name.
Yeah.
Because she was in a faction with two other
What was it?
wrestlers.
Submission.
The Submission Sorority, and
Yeah.
there's literally a porn site that goes by the same name.
Nice.
So they changed it real quick.
So I have a couple questions. Is this the
Submission
first?
sorority.
Get off. Is this the first? I'm sure I'm wrong, but the feature film by W. By
No.
Oh no,
They've
They've
made
been in movies. They've been in the movie
This
business.
is the main roster debut for a lot of their films.
This is their first real biopic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Biopic of no, I'm sticking. I'm
No.
I'm sticking to it.
Stick to your guns.
I'm doubling down. It's sorry. And with Dwayne The Rock Johnson being a part of it, I think it's good that Dwayne The Rock Johnson's a producer of it because
Sure.
as a wrestling fan, sometimes it feels like he has forgotten the wrestling business. He'll come back and be like, "I love you guys, it's my blood," and then he'll just disappear again.
And then come back on $100 million taller stack of money.
And then bury Rusev in front of me. Like I don't care about new stars.
I'm not. You said
Too deep a dive for this.
Sit
for
down
this
and
crowd,
pile
my
drive.
friend.
no. Yeah, really, you should plug it right now.
Yeah. No, it's exciting to me that this movie's coming out. I love they got big name actors for it too.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
Cersei from Game of Thrones.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn's in it.
Nick
Nick Frost.
Frost. Yeah.
It's written and directed by Stephen Merchant, so it's going to be funny. It might even if they do it right. This could
I like that we're tossing these names out, even though everybody who's watching
Right.
has already seen just what
it's
we were looking at.
this could be like a sleeper hit kind of movie.
Yeah.
This is a
think
national
so.
treasure-esque
there's-
movie where people
yeah.
go, "Whoa, this is good." What?
I'm on board.
So you
I
said
am
a couple
super on
minutes
board.
ago that women's wrestling is getting big because of what she's been able to pave the way for.
Not
and
her- not just
good,
her
but
Well,
big.
specific-
there's a lot of groundwork been
She's the
laid.
face of
modern women's wrestling, or
not anymore. But she's to me like she'd be
She
more
blazed
like
a trail.
She'd be more the godfather
Sure.
of women's
Godmother.
of where women's wrestling is today. Like a lot of people want to credit Trish Stratus and Lita and AJ Lee. I roll there. But Paige, to me, is like the start of, okay, we're going to take women's wrestling kind of seriously.
Gotcha.
Right.
Because really, women's wrestling got taken seriously because of the 4 horsewomen of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, do you like Glow, the Netflix original?
No.
You don't like
No.
it? Okay. And that is because you come from the background of someone who knows what really happened in Glow?
I like professional wrestling being treated seriously.
Right.
And
are they kind of mocking it?
Well, Glow was mocking it.
Yeah.
The actual organization.
The actual
glamorous
gorgeous ladies of
gorgeous
wrestling.
wrestling.
They were the
Which I
original, the actual Glow
I don't need
was
to
mocking
see,
wrestling.
I don't need to see a Orange is the New Black style depiction of wrestling.
That's a good. Yeah.
And
That's a good way to describe it.
I'm sure it's a good show.
It is a
It's
good
just
show.
I'm
I
a
actually
wrestling
really
fan,
like
But
it.
it's
I think Ready to Rumble is garbage.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
like
that's
things
true.
just because it has wrestling in it.
Gotcha.
I'm a I want to see wrestling.
that one was so bad it was funny to me. But yeah, it is
Oh, yeah.
garbage. But
No,
I
I went-
enjoy it because
and made David Arquette want to become a real wrestler.
Yeah, and he actually his latest effort was actually pretty good.
Nick Cage is gonna murder him.
It was weird.
Yeah,
So anyway.
I'm a lay person when it comes to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You begged me to put a wrestling show on Color Circuit, and I was like, all right, fine. Which is really funny because it's the same exact thing that happened on Hyper RPG. Cameron Rice and what's his name? But they
It's
begged
like your
me to see-
second most popular show.
But as a layperson, Glow has made me actually piqued my interest in
Oh, don't even
wrestling.
pretend. Don't even pretend.
Oh no!
No,
The thing is,
it's
good.
Well,
so
good. I
fucking
think it's
good.
good.
when
The show
we,
is
I
great.
have something to plug after the show. So
I actually do have multiple female friends, like the dude that I do my weekly show with.
Mm-hmm.
His wife. Like would have been like, ugh, what is this bottom rung, like lowest common denominating
Right,
bullshit
yeah.
you're always on about? And then she actually saw Glow and was like, this is actually compelling. You know?
wrestling, when wrestling is good, wrestling to me is the highest form of art.
It's something it is something that is lovely. No, dude, remember, I am 40 years old. I've been watching it for 34 years of my life. It is something that I've invested my time
I
and
can't
my
believe it's even
life.
been around that long.
I have
it's
to.
been around longer than that.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
it's as a combat sport and a form of entertainment. I mean, it's from biblical times.
I had to make
dude.
it very
Also-
clear to my girlfriend when we first started dating that it's not I like professional wrestling. It's no. I am obsessed with it, which means I'm going to follow it. It will determine whether my day is good or bad sometimes.
One of my other favorite Netflix shows, Love, also has a character who's super into wrestling.
Jillian Jacobs is actually like a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, and that was really fun to see too. Like just some kind of like I don't know.
She,
like those
she
are my
like
only.
live tweets PWG shows. I'm like, what?
Nice.
Oh shit!
You're there?
All right, let's move on to the crux of this show, which
Here we go.
is the news. Go ahead.
Oh, all I was going to say is what we ought to do is you ought to have me on Sit Down and Pile Drive, and we ought to do our own version of the review of Fighting with My Family.
I'm down.
All right.
Yeah, I'll plug it at the end of the show. But basically, I know exactly what I'm doing tomorrow.
Cool.
All right, our first piece of news. Let's see which one's coming up first. It is that one. Take it away.
It's a me.
Stanio.
So, a Breaking Bad movie?
Whoa! But it ended so perfectly.
Right. So that isn't actually the official news. The thing, Zach Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan.
See, there we go.
Zach Galifianakis.
Zach
Galifianakis
Zach
is
Galifianakis.
writing. No. So the original writer of Breaking Bad is working on a feature film, and the rumor has it is actually going to be the Breaking Bad sequel movie, whatever.
Oh my.
A
Okay.
few things
All
about
right.
that. One of the things is, spoiler alert, the main character dies at the end of Breaking Bad. Right? So there's that. But there's the secondary character,
Which they left open-ended.
which they did leave open-ended. So everyone's kind of thinking it's going to pick up with the Pinkman character and kind of see what's going on with him. It's already confirmed. Bryan Cranston isn't going to be a part of this.
Okay,
because he's
He's
in.
Wait.
He's like an in credits reveal.
Maybe.
Oh, I see what you're
Possibly, maybe, sure. But I mean, it's not just you know, he's in New York on Broadway, playing Howard Beale in Network,
Cool.
the musical.
That's
Broadway, right?
That is gorgeous.
So he's doing his thing. Not to say that he can't fly him out for a day and shoot a scene with him. Sure, who knows? So that's just kind of the word right now. There's nothing confirmed.
It's just being written.
Other than there's something going on, you know, with the creators of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's going to be a movie. People think it's going to be about Pinkman. People, you know, Bryan Cranston is talking and giving his thoughts on the project, thinking, yeah, we should.
What would they do? What would they do?
That's really because and honestly, in the original idea of the show, the Pinkman character was going to get killed off.
Yeah,
but he was such a good.
Earlier on, right?
Like the first season, he was gonna get killed off.
I remember that.
And everyone responded well. They liked him as they liked his character, so they kept it going.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of, you know, so it could be kind of one of those Firefly Serenity type deals. They're just going to tie up loose ends.
No.
But it's all up in the air right now. It's all speculation. There's nothing concrete.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It didn't really feel like a loose end. It was a really good ending to a really good show.
Yeah. It kind of felt like they closed the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my the argument for this film is look what they did with Better Call Saul, and I think I asked the same question. What are they going to do? Like, what are they going to do with Saul? And now they've
being
made
a
two
prequel, you have
incredibly
a
good
little bit
seasons.
more
Sure.
freedom. To me,
How so?
Because here's how
I feel like you're more restricted with prequels
Well,
because you know
maybe.
where it ends up, whereas in sequels it's open
I
ended.
think taking a character like Saul Goodman, Jimmy McGill, you have a little bit more freedom to just kind of do whatever. Jesse Pinkman's story is a redemption story, and it's kind of he redeemed himself. So
Right.
where do you
like he had his arc.
yeah
Why
where
are we
do you,
bringing
where
up
do you
another
go
arc?
from that?
Okay.
How do you especially if it's a sequel? If it was in the realm of a prequel kind of thing where it's like Jesse Pinkman before Walter White was like, hey, let's make meth together.
Right.
You know, it'd be a little bit more like, okay.
Then I have a question. What do you think? What do you think this 2-hour movie, let's just say, ends up? What do you think it's going to be about?
I think like if they took like a Red Dead Redemption type of approach to it.
Like the storyline of Red Dead Redemption, the first one.
No, not so much like that, but basically in a realm of where like Jesse Pinkman's trying to, you can't escape your past.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's what he wants to do,
Right.
but you can't. So if they take an approach like that, I think it has a little bit more.
He's going after Walter White's killers. That's what I'm thinking.
See, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not his. He wants to get out of that.
He's
life.
not. Yeah, and he's not the guns blazing retribution type.
Yeah,
Sure.
He's more like if his past keeps catching up to him, and he has to do guns blazing kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to have some sort of arc, and like, does he go back
Like a
downhill?
history of violence. Like if they
say something like that, like maybe we catch up with him. He's not Pinkman. He's got a family, and then one of the
or
murderers.
you think he jumps forward?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not much.
I mean, that's the only
Save the Walking Dead.
Right. Yeah. So who knows?
Create a black hole, time jump.
Right. Yeah. Let's just go 8 years and see what happens.
Fuck it.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it's mostly speculation now. So
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of
It might not even
go.
get made.
It's possible.
I think it would just because of the success of Better Call Saul. I think production's willing to invest.
Yeah, we'll see. Because he's still in the writing phase. For our, we never know.
We
What's
trust
happen.
him though, right? Like he's literally got to be. He's one of the hottest writers out right now.
This might be a bad New Mexican, but I love Better Call Saul. But Breaking Bad's all right.
Oh.
Breaking
Maybe
Bad
you
has
are a bad
moments.
New Mexican.
I'm a great New Mexican. I love Golden Pride, green chili on everything, please. I just think Breaking Bad is. I keep watching it, but it's only because I know the final season's really good. But there's a whole lot of other stuff I have to deal with. Skylar way too much.
Yeah.
And
Which one's
Skylar's
Skylar? I don't even
This is
remember.
his wife.
she's the worst.
gotcha.
And, well, I think they probably should have killed her off too. I mean, because they didn't have any. She had nothing to do.
I
in
feel
the
like
last 2 seasons.
If Breaking Bad
bitch
was
and,
just Walter White, like if it was just Walter White and he didn't have a family, would have been a much better show. You could
It's
still
so hard
been
to like.
Scarface.
I don't know. He couldn't have been.
You
He
could
couldn't
still-
have been the like his secret self, which is what he was trying to do the whole time.
It's not an
right?
interesting story though. Him trying to hide his drug dealing from his family's not interesting.
But then it all comes out, and it just kind of like everything just kind of okay.
Yeah.
all
Oh,
right.
we're drug dealers now.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
Except our son. He doesn't know. Let's not tell him.
Right.
Forgot about this. It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen it.
And maybe they'll bring him back. You know. Who knows?
He's the one seeking vengeance.
Yeah,
It is weird that it's been 5 years since the series ended.
Yeah, yeah. And how many seasons did it last?
Season 6.
Yep.
6 seasons.
It's 6 seasons, yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
5
Still
good seasons.
regarded as literally, I think it's like on like Writers Guild of America, like top 50 best written shows of all time or something
Right.
like that. Yeah,
I think a lot of that has to do with how good Bryan Cranston is in it.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
awesome.
he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's
Better
move on to
Call
our
Saul's
next
better.
move. Our next topic, and that is you.
Dun, dun, dun.
You
Mr.
gonna bring us
Yep.
down, man?
So, yeah. Indeed I am. So, 4 days ago, as of November 12th, it marked the passing of a Titan. And just, it's you know, there's nothing I can really add to the story here of what happened and the contributions that Stan Lee made.
Stanley Martin Lieber.
Yep, Stanley Martin Lieber. He was absolutely amazing. 95. As we were joking off camera before, it was just like taken too soon.
Had a lot
There's
more.
so much unfinished.
So much, yeah, unfinished
So
business.
much left to write.
Who will cameo in the sixth reboot of Spider-Man?
Actually, that was one of the jokes that was going to come up. What it needs to be now in all of the rest of the Marvel movies is Deadpool wearing a gray wig and like aviators and a fake mustache.
Wait,
I
is
love
Jack
it.
Kirby still alive?
No, Jack Kirby died about 25 years ago.
Yeah, he's been dead a
Yeah,
long time.
and
Who's
well,
gonna do it?
Because that was the problem. Because it was just like with Stan Lee, a lot of his empire was built on the backs of people that he fucked over real bad, and it was just. But the thing was, you know, he's everybody's friendly, you know, grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friendly neighborhood
Who
grandpa.
put together this world of amazing, you know, amazing things. It was just like as they show on the list. Where do we have it here?
But that's like a norm in comic books. Bob
Oh, yeah.
Kane.
No, that was it. And
You
it
don't
was just
like the Social Network says. You don't get to 50 million friends without making a few enemies.
Yeah. And it was just, and that was the thing. There were a lot of people who died angry as the result of the machinations of this man. However, it does not, you know, it doesn't change the fact that he was responsible for some of the stuff that makes us very happy to this day.
Sure.
Just there have been so many of these films that we've watched, you know, so many
And not
so
even
many
films, the comics,
yeah.
cartoons. You know.
No,
I mean,
it's like
yeah.
I remember like what my first comic book was, and just the fact that he kind of enacted the rule that you write every comic book as though it were the first, because for somebody it's going to be their first comic.
Yeah, DC, you have to invest in DC Comics.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be there from the beginning of the story, but with a lot of these, you can just kind of jump right in and kind of figure out what was happening. They always had that, you know, smile and stand last-ish, you know, and it was just dude changed the archetype of a lot of storytelling in this world, as they show here. It was like he was responsible for Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Black Panther, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man.
Yeah,
They did
list
kind of
goes
shit
on.
the bed with all the Spider-Man clones, and was that the early 90s? That
Oh,
one?
yeah.
But
Mid-90s.
but
90s
mid-90s
comics
for
are
the
terrible.
clones.
Yeah,
90s
exactly.
comics, the decade that was the 90s
That-
was not good to comics.
That was also the time he kind of sold off the last of the IP.
Right.
Because dude has not been, you know, the head of the guy. He's just been a name and a face associated with them for the last quarter of his life, basically. That dude got rid of all of it for a while. That they didn't have Stan Lee's, you know, Marvel. It was Stan Lee presents other bullshit, you know, because they had those like comic books where it was like, what if Stan Lee had created Superman, you know, or any of those other ones, or Stan Lee's Superhumans, the TV show. Oh, 1 sec. All right, had a sneeze coming up.
No,
Went nowhere.
That was
As soon as
exciting.
went,
I got really
I thought
excited
you were,
for like
I thought
1
you were
second.
seeing Stan Lee, and he was like,
Hey
"No,
there,
Fernando,
Spider friend."
no."
Excelsior!
So,
oh shit!
Yeah, for people like me and probably most of the world, they weren't direct comic book fans. They were affected by it though because of everything that came out afterwards.
Invest into comic books.
Yeah,
I do not have the time.
But the things that this guy made that like ultimately led to like where we are in cinema
and
at
socially
this current
progressive
moment.
too.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Especially during like DC never touched on the things that like the X-Men was about, prejudice.
I love that.
The Incredible Hulk.
Abuse, family abuse,
Spider-Man,
misuse of science,
turning big and green, buying stretchy pants. That's what the Incredible Hulk social commentary. Peter Parker's just a regular high school kid with superpowers,
but he has to deal with death.
Yeah.
And
alienation, and the fact that he can't save everybody.
Right. Mm-hmm. Coming to terms.
A lot of people joke about how like all Marvel characters are super angsty people, but it's like they're dealing with like real world problems.
Yep.
DC treated their superheroes as gods, whereas Marvel treated their superheroes as people thrown into these extreme, extraordinary situations. Except Iron Man. Iron Man's a little bit overpowered.
A little bit. I'm okay with it.
Super rich, super billionaire, super smart.
Batman with power.
Somehow knows karate,
but he also has like one of the most like his kryptonite
is alcohol.
Which is like the most like anybody could touch on that, you know.
And he's scary as a villain in the Axis storyline.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, it was just ultimately the fact that there were tremendous contributions that Stan Lee made to the world of fiction. It was just that was just the way that I put it was that he was indisputably the author and architect of a large portion of my childhood and my adolescence and my adulthood, and that for all of the shit that he pulled and for all of the people that he hurt with the things that he did in this life, as we said, they were definitely you broke some eggs to make that fucking omelet.
But it's not like he was alone in that.
No, certainly not. This was not, although he was the only one that had a very insulting parody character made of him. Funky Flashman. That's a deep pull. If you like that one, fucking hit those reggaeton horns, like and subscribe. But yeah, so yeah.
I think even up till pretty late because there were like Me Too issues towards the end too. I think with nurses or something.
That was after I think. Possibly, I remember for a lot of those things that started coming up after he had died.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of people got real mad about. Okay,
yeah, well, I remember it's some nurses or something. Somebody came out and said something like a few months ago.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, looks like nobody's
perfect.
Yeah,
right?
and more shady shit comes to the fore.
Sure.
Well, and we'll see.
He's dead now. Get over it.
Right. Well,
but
let's beat a dead horse.
Yeah. Ultimate demise, but for the ultimate person, right?
Yeah. Precisely. And it was just like, the dude made indisputable contributions to these worlds that we enjoy so very much. And, and it's pretty safe to say that the world is poorer for his absence.
Sure.
So thank you very much, Smile and Stan, for your contributions to all of this. I thank you from my childhood to my adulthood, but also, I am definitely holding you accountable for the shady shit that you pulled.
That's a good way to put it.
But also thanks. It was very much the way that I felt about, it's tangentially related to the way that I felt about the death of Hugh Hefner. Where it was just like, again, shady shit, but thanks for all the boners.
Yeah.
Thanks for the boners, Stanley.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stanley. All right, let's move on to our next topic.
All right. So it turns out Satan has IP rights.
Nice.
Woo! And he's suing the shit out of Sabrina.
Nice.
No. So
that's the best intro.
I everyone's here giving like real, I'm like, nah, Satan's suing Sabrina. No, the Satanic Temple has sued Netflix and Warner Brothers over its use of an androgynous goat-headed statue. I like how they had to point out it was androgynous.
Right.
Hey, they're progressive as fuck.
In the 1990s witch-themed television show, alleging that the companies are trampling on its, and I quote, intellectual property rights.
IP rights.
We own the rights to Satan.
Yeah.
Not you. The temple has asked a federal court in Manhattan for at least $50 million on each claim of copyright and trademark infringement and injuring its business reputation. The temple.
How much again?
$50 million.
I had her. Okay. No, go ahead. You're reading.
The temple also seeks an injunction to stop Netflix and Warner Brothers from continuing to distribute Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and wants the statue's image in existing episodes digitally altered.
I thought that was all they wanted, but they're getting some money now.
asking
They're
for
like,
50 million.
money.
And it's very satanic of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's on brand.
yeah. Jesus,
Their
needs money.
brand.
Okay.
Why not the devil?
What makes this case particularly striking and significant is, according to the complaint, is that it arises in the context of defendants who are highly sophisticated media production and distribution companies, which blatantly misappropriated.
This is all a quote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plaintiffs' unique expression of an idea, even though they have a long history of vigorously protecting their own intellectual property. So it's, hey, that's our depiction of Satan. Get your own depiction of Satan.
And don't call him Satan.
Yeah. Call him something else.
And make him look different.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not mistaken, this icon of the goat with the wings and the fingers and all
Baphomet.
I think it's been it's like hundreds of years old or something. And so it's interesting that they're like just claiming rights to something that it's kind of like, I don't know if I could compare this, but like when Disney claimed the rights to all these classic folklore tales.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that the Satanic Temple has a case.
I also think the Satanic Temple, as we've seen the stuff that they've done in the news over the past couple of years, I think they're just trying to make a point.
they're trolling, right?
Yeah,
they're the
Almost
master.
certainly.
Them and Anonymous are the master trolls of the internet of the world, I guess. Pissing on graves and like,
I imagine a judge looking at this and go, no.
Well,
and then putting Baphomet in front of like courthouses.
In the Bible Belt, Oklahoma, they have the statue erected because of the Ten Commandments. Basically.
I want to see
religious
this
freedom
court
laws.
case. They need to film this court case,
Right?
It needs to happen.
Get some guy with fucking gauges. Fucking snake bite piercings and shit.
Andrew Bowser, who plays weird Satanist guy, he can come out.
Oh yeah,
Nice,
yeah, he's
nice.
actually he's the Nerdist Network. This is fun. This is fun to me. I don't know, like
I don't know. Satanic Temple having $50 million makes me nervous.
Right.
They're gonna do a satanic mega church.
We built a devil gun.
They're gonna hire Joel Osteen.
Right.
I wonder if this is actually costing Netflix money.
Probably.
To
It's gonna come directly out of the studio here, and they're like, "Fuck this," and we're like, "Wait, we didn't do anything."
Yeah, we need
Sorry, no
Albuquerque
more
jobs.
Stranger Things. Blame Satan.
Yeah.
Right.
Stranger Things season 3 canceled due to Satanic Temple.
Goddamn devil.
Oh man, this is great news though. This is fun.
This
I don't
is
know
like
why-
non-news.
It's ridiculous.
It's still fun.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely is.
I had a blast.
As you said, the opening to this was
amazing.
pretty
That's-
good
that,
time.
that needs to be
great.
clipped.
Thank you.
That's good. That's good. All right, let's move on to some other news, which is coming soon now with Post Tomatoes, which always comes before.
Pre-tomatoes!
That's right. It's
Forgot
been a
all
little
about
while.
that.
Hey, hey,
Right?
it's been a while, but we'll catch you up on the next one.
Yeah.
Can I just say? Can I just say?
Actually, can you intro?
Yes. So a couple weeks ago, I hosted with Charlie and Lexi, and I'm not gonna lie, we did a really good fucking job.
Nice.
Look at this.
Every week, it's been 3 weeks though, so we're just looking back at those. But we look at the film and television that's coming out. We guess what the Rotten Tomato scores are going to be, and then we look at the scores the following week, see how close we were. So, what'd you do?
First one was Sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
God damn it!
Sioux City Sarsaparilla.
Hi, you did a great job, partner.
Suspiria or whatever. It's that like demonic ballet movie.
Remake.
Yeah, it's a remake
Oh,
apparently
yeah.
of a classic.
Oh,
which,
you
man,
whatever.
Man, you are close.
We killed it.
Yeah.
We guessed 60% because it's a remake and those don't do very well. Critics gave it a 62%. Audiences went, huh. So 72.
Man,
That's a logical
who saw
score
it?
for
Did
me.
you see it? Did you see it? How?
How? Yeah, what'd you think of it?
It's very artsy, but not with substance. It was like an art house movie, but I don't
Like
know.
they just saw an art. It's like a parody of an art house
Yeah,
movie.
It doesn't hold up to Dario Argento's 78.
Right.
But I don't know. It's interestingly directed. It's by Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that guy's
All
good.
right.
That guy's
It's got some
good.
really like
That doesn't-
brutal violence, and the
As
end-
well it should.
The end sequence is nuts, but it doesn't justify the rest of the movie. It's
Okay, because
I'm
I was
not
going to
gonna
ask,
lie,
is it in the theme of a proper giallo?
Which is a genre, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yes and no.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm surprised this critic's score is
As high as
lower
it
than
is.
the audience score.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
thought they
All
would.
right.
You
All
thought they
right.
would buy into the art.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no. I mean, it's well shot. It's well directed. It's crazy at the end, but
All right.
Honestly, everything you've said has sold me on it.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And then,
I'm
I'm
kind of on
sold.
board as well.
Then London Fields,
Yeah.
which I hijacked. I hijacked that rating.
I saw that.
I refused to let it get anything higher. Like if it went into double digits, I was going to throw a fit. I was like, no,
That is one of the worst trailers I've ever seen.
I
Yeah.
please tell me this is the lowest score ever given on Screen Source.
I don't know.
Didn't we do a 0 before?
Have we done a 0
I think
before?
we did.
Son of a
can't
bitch,
remember.
Charlie! He wouldn't let me give it a 0.
Yeah, what was his? He said like some
He
people.
gave it a
Somebody's gonna
40.
go watch this. Did
He
he say
gave it
like
a
middle-aged
40.
middle-aged women are gonna watch this or
No,
something? I don't
we
know.
gave it. So we gave it a 7% reluctantly. I wanted it to be a solid 0, possibly even a negative,
Nah.
but it didn't happen.
Hey,
Can
audience,
you bring him in for a picture-in-picture to explain himself for wanting to give it a 40?
audience gave it a 59.
So the two people who saw London
like the
Fields
7 people that actually saw it in the theater.
Literally the
walked
59
out and
people
went,
who
not
saw
very
it.
good.
The only kind of defensible position was it was held up for a really long time because of lawsuits and rights things. I don't really know the whole, but so it didn't
It's
actually
icky
come
to
out.
see Johnny Depp and Amber Heard in a movie together.
Yeah, that's
Shit, I
weird.
didn't
Yeah.
even think about
It
that.
is
Yeah,
icky.
see,
Yeah.
if it had come
It
out
is
before
icky.
all that, I don't know.
It still would have done well.
Probably not.
But critics gave it a 0, so they did what I wanted to do. Good for them. I'm so happy. And then, yeah, the 7 people who saw it went, not very good.
What's this
Yeah.
number down? I can't read
Yeah.
these. No, what is these? 214. 214 people thought like audience members, regulars.
Did not enjoy it.
Well, they gave it a 59. I'm just
that's an
surprised.
F.
I'm
That's an
surprised.
F.
That's an F.
I know. But also F ranging from 0 to 60, 59.
It's still an F. Trust me. I tried. In high school with that logic. Nope, I failed.
All right, you win.
Going to summer
In a
school.
just world, it would be a C.
You win. All right, what's the last one?
And then we
Sabrina.
Yeah, we figured, people are going to like The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Critics gave it a 90. I don't think it deserved that. And audiences went, Salem doesn't talk? 80.
Which is exactly on the button.
That's what you gave
That's
it.
what happened, yeah. I'm so proud of us right now.
Right.
Not Charlie, because he ruined my London Fields thing, but the rest.
But you and who else is on?
Lexi, yeah.
Lexi, yeah. Miss Lexi.
Yeah, no, I'm going to.
Pat on the back. That's
for
not
you.
bad. That's
Well-deserved.
not
You're
bad.
going to Barry Horowitz yourself?
Good for me.
Did you like Sabrina?
I enjoyed it. I think the actress who plays Sabrina is really good.
Yeah, from Mad
I
Men.
I think it's I think it's a very interesting world they've created. It's completely different than
Original show.
but the original show's not very good.
It's really hokey.
No, it's nostalgia. That's why people like it. Is I watched it when I was little. It doesn't make it good.
Sure.
I think the
Film was
casting
hilarious, though.
I think the casting's excellent. The people that got to play the sisters remind me of the actresses who played the original sisters in the first one.
Very cool.
Again, the actress who plays Sabrina is phenomenal. I think she's great in the show. I think it's very well stylized.
I'm gonna watch it. I
It's
just don't
not
have
going to
time.
make me
I've
check
had
out Riverdale anytime soon. But
I think if they released
Riverdale's
this in like early October, maybe even late September, I bet it would have caught more traction with the Halloween month.
I just think they should get their own
Very
Satan.
fair.
You think what?
I think they should just get their own Satan.
Oh
Right.
yeah. They should hook up with the Satanic Temple.
Have some imagination. Jesus.
Yeah.
What if Satanic Temple's like, you know what?
Why didn't they cross promote?
Yeah, what if they're like, hey, maybe not 50 million, but we want to
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, brought to you by Satan.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. Yeah, they need to start producing some
I'm
films.
telling you, Beelzebub Productions.
Oh my God.
All right, now we're moving on to coming soon now with pre-tomatoes, which always comes after.
Post-tomatoes!
There you go, Stan. All right, let's talk about some new film that's coming out. You want to take it away, Fernando?
All right, the first one that we've got is going to be Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Yeah, so follow-up to, what year was it that it came? 2016's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and expanding on most of the this expanded universe of Harry Potter.
Everyone just loves Harry Potter. Everyone
people
loves
are
Harry Potter.
people.
I don't.
So much
are
so
not
that they'll go
going
see
to-
a movie that doesn't have Harry Potter in it, but has his world in it.
Here's the thing, actually, like as somebody that I was in college when I read Harry Potter, so it really wasn't that long ago.
Right.
And then I actually read Fantastic Beasts, which is
It's not a novel.
It's not a novel, no, but it's got-
literally a guide.
It's a guide, yeah, mostly like an encyclopedia almost, but the top of it though kind of gives you a background, a little bit of a story, which you can really expand into anything you want. I actually liked that first film. I thought they did a really good job. I think it's okay. Also, if you can separate it from Harry Potter, it certainly
I'm
stands on its
interested
own.
in that way more than I am in Harry Potter.
Sure. Yeah. So
That being
It's
said,
the greater outline, the greater outside world of it all.
this movie's getting blasted by critics.
yeah, should we give it a score first and then have Hector come in here for a second?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I know you're saying it's blasted by critics, but I just feel like if I
I'm
didn't
giving it a
hear that,
70.
I probably would have given it like an 80.
I'm giving it 70.
Yeah.
I think audiences will like it because of the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna love it.
Also,
And it's going deep into Harry Potter lore now.
is
Deeper.
To be the first one was good. It wasn't great. You know, I mean, it was all right and apparently warranted a sequel.
And honestly, I think Johnny Depp's casting is probably one of the biggest problems with it.
That's exactly what I was about to touch on, is the fact that that's probably going to drive a lot of people away from it now.
Yeah, I remember
the
Because
world
it
has
is
soured
becoming
on
box
him.
office poison.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
J.K. Rowling actually came out and kind of defended his.
I think he got fired from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
I think he did too.
Yeah.
Because I know he's no longer part of it, but I think they fired him.
Yeah,
But
and
who
you know they're
cares?
rebooting.
Yeah.
Pirates.
We talked about it on Screen Source.
Yeah.
right here on YouTube.
What would
I like
so he's
him.
saying
I
70?
like
I'm
Eddie
gonna give it 80?
Redmayne. I
Yeah.
like him. He's a good actor.
I like his girlfriend
yeah, all the cast
and
is
that.
really
Yeah,
good.
his friend,
his
in it.
buddy. Yeah,
That movie's
It kind
Ken
of falls into
Fogler's
like
awesome.
some of the problems with The Hobbit, where it's like this is how this thing for Voldemort happened, and it's like you just took me out of this world.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'd compare it to The Hobbit. Hobbit gets deep, and the last movie of this was very much just exploring the world. They
Yeah.
kind of took their time. It's new characters, new people. And yeah, towards the end, I'd say like it really kind of started getting more into the lore. And the second one obviously looks like even more so, right?
Yeah,
'Cause they're bringing back
and that's
some
kind
characters.
of. I just want a separate story. I don't care about the Harry Potter universe.
I get it.
care
And
like the Wizarding universe is cool.
And here's the thing: I bet they will. I bet I bet there'll be more franchises out of Harry Potter, and I bet it would be. I bet it's going to separate itself even more so.
I think they're going to have to, to be
Right.
able to keep it going, because it was just like the story's
That's okay.
already been told.
Like Star Wars, honestly.
Yeah.
So he said 70. I said 80.
You know what? Yeah, I'll split the difference on that one. I'm good with 75.
72.
72. All right, let's go 74.
All
There we
right.
go.
So, Tomato, do you want to come in here and give your 2 cents? Ooh, little 7 and 2. And I like his little.
I thought it was a swastika for a
Yeah,
second.
can we get rid of that one line? Can we get rid of that one line? It's
No,
making me
it's
uncomfortable.
it's not in the Nazi formation. That's facing the other way.
This is the Buddha
This
formation.
would be
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because
All right, what do you got?
Sorry, once you go Nazi, you ruin it.
So, to give you an idea of what I thought about this movie, I gave it a C-. That is also the same score, Connor, that I gave Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yikes! I would do that. Jurassic World Kingdom gets a 0 from me.
Damn.
A 0 and a middle finger.
So, like, the movie, there's like no plot, there's no character. I didn't think the main cast from the last movie was very well characterized in the first place. They don't get any more development in this movie. Like I said, there's no plot. It's such a slog. It just splits into like 5 different directions because it follows like 5 different characters. And when they all come together in the end, there's no good payoff.
Why 70 then?
Well, I don't equate a C- with a 70%. I actually think, let's say an F is like 10%. Let's call a D like 30%. I'd say a C is more like around the 50s.
Okay, you would give it like a 50.
Yeah. So, actually, Johnny Depp isn't bad as Grindelwald.
Johnny Depp's a good actor. I just think Johnny Depp,
the person,
yeah,
kind of colors what people see.
And people are sick. People are sick of Johnny Depp with weird contacts and weird makeup.
Yeah.
I've been here for 3 hours and I had my other thing going on.
Yeah.
So
go
all
ahead.
right, all right. It's been wonderful seeing you all. Been awesome, dude. Still my friend. Boop. All right.
Yeah, but Johnny Depp isn't bad. He doesn't get a lot to do though. He has a really cool opening scene where he, spoiler alert, escapes imprisonment. But that was actually really cool. What? And Jude Law as young Dumbledore is also good. Same thing.
That to me is like, I'd go see it for Jude Law.
Same thing though. He's like barely in the film, and let's say you don't see Grindelwald and Dumbledore exchange Elder Wands. Take that how you will, lore wise.
Okay.
Extended universe wise, you all know the controversy with J.K. Rowling, but David Yates is a really good director. I love the style he's done since Order of the Phoenix, and so it's a really good looking film. It's really cool, but it's just J.K. Rowling needs help writing a screenplay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. And J.K. Rowling was a part of the first screenplay as well? Oh, I forget about that sometimes. All right, cool. That was a hot take by Mr. Hector Navarro. Check him out on Sandia Film Journal.
Hector Navarro.
Whew. God, keep calling you Hector Navarro. It's a wish. Of the Geek and Sundry Hyper RPG Network. He's great. Widows, but checked out Hector's Sandia Film Journal. Yes. Widows. Okay, so this is the crime drama.
Yeah.
Right? Which we watched a couple trailers for. Great cast, from what we know so far.
Really good cast.
Yeah. And it's kind of like a
revenge heist movie.
Yeah, revenge thriller. Their husbands die, and then now they're going to go do this thing. There was a TV show recently that came out that was very similar plot.
It's based on a
Okay.
It's based on an old TV show. It was like a BBC, wasn't it?
There was a recent TV show that has a very similar plot of like these women that want to go. NBC, yes, thank you. I can't remember what it was, but it looks good. It's super dark. Even the poster itself is dark.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what was that? The Town. It kind of looks like The Town to me, which was a good movie.
Yeah, Town's really. Ben Affleck makes great films.
He does. Yes. What did you think of the trailer when you guys saw it?
You go.
Go ahead.
I because I produced that one. I don't know. It didn't look like interesting.
Okay.
I can't imagine. I can't think of anybody I know who'd go see it.
Sure. I might go watch it in theaters. I will say the plot doesn't look super thick. But if it's a heist film, I don't know. I'm a sucker. I'm kind of a sucker. I do like me some heist films.
The director is sort of a draw. I don't know if you've seen it. Okay, his name's Steve McQueen.
Okay.
Yeah. He made 12 Years a Slave, right?
Yeah, he did that, and he did one
Good
called Shame.
Yeah.
With Michael Fassbender's dong.
It's the new name of the show.
He did something else too, and so his movies are really kind of.
He makes heavy films.
Yeah, heavy, heady, and it's interesting to see that he's kind of taken this genre that's like very kind of pulpy, and I'm interested to see kind of what he does with it.
Sure.
And I'm not expecting it to be just a heist movie. So I don't know. I'm interested.
I am a fan when
Definitely.
directors move over a genre.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, that's
And then-
fun.
Yeah.
Different
and
take
then-
on it.
It just kind of depends on, exactly what he's trying to say, or
Sure.
maybe he's not trying to say anything. Maybe he's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's make it.
Could be a
movie.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
Definitely
knows?
not Notion's 11 or anything like
No.
that. No, it doesn't have
No,
that tongue in
it's
cheek
not-
fun.
Yeah, all his movies are super dark and super like
12 Years a Slave
depressing.
was tough.
Yeah,
It's a good
right.
movie, though. It's a
So I
great
mean, I
movie.
imagine it's gonna have those elements.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I think going into it with that frame of mind, maybe you might take something out of it. Who knows?
I actually like the 72 score for this.
Yeah.
Word?
I'm willing to go with that. This movie's also not been like super well received with critics.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a
Yeah, these all came out last night, actually.
yeah. This one. It from what I've read, it kind of seems like it's this like meh, it's all right. It's worth a watch, I guess.
Sure.
Which does not. I'm like, okay, well that doesn't put me in the theater.
Is that two Colin Farrells? Yep, that's two Colin Farrells. He's also in Crimes of Grindelwald, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh.
No, he's in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the first one.
Yeah.
Huh.
72 is I think a good score for
Sure.
this.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Sure.
72 yet again, and lastly, the bout of Buster.
I actually watched Widows last night.
Oh, you did. And how'd
Yeah,
you? What'd you think
remember
of it?
he was telling us about it.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a spot.
There you
for
go. Producer taking mic.
So, Widows, it's directed by Steve McQueen, written by Gillian Flynn, who also wrote the novel and screenplay of Gone Girl. That's actually
Right.
one of my favorite movies ever. I love.
Pretty good.
Gone Girl's good.
Gone Girl's really good. Yeah.
It's good. But this movie, it's like at once too big for its britches and too small. It's like too highbrow to be just a surface level enjoyable thriller, but it's also like too lowbrow to actually have any substance. It's I don't know.
That's weird.
It's a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, it's weird too because you've got the main plot of like these four widows who need to carry out their husband's job that they'd never finished. Then it's also got like this weird other subplot with Colin Farrell and like he's running for mayoral office, and there's these two other people, these two black guys that they live in like the bad part of Chicago, and they're also campaigning for mayor. Well, one of them is. The other one's is like Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out.
Right.
He's like his strong man. He's really yucky in this movie. Oh,
Nice.
it was well acted. But yeah, it's weird. The way the widows and the mayor stuff intersects.
It's kind of like Suburban. It sounds like Suburbicon.
I never
didn't
see
see
that.
Suburbicon's horrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, George Clooney needs to quit.
Widows.
He's not a good filmmaker.
Widows isn't horrible.
He keeps trying to make a Coen Brothers movie. But anyway.
It was actually written by Coen Brothers. That one.
This
Yeah.
was
Suburban.
No,
Con.
No. That's because George Clooney wants to be the Coen Brothers.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
does so bad.
not.
I like both of them, all three of them. But yeah, no, Widows. I'd give it like a B-. It's very well directed. Like it looks great. It's like so dark and yucky, and the atmosphere is good. The actual screenplay by Gillian Flynn, and they've co-wrote Steve McQueen and Gillian Flynn. That I don't know. It doesn't have much to say.
It's just a good-looking film.
Yeah, the characters too, like Viola Davis is like super intense, but that's all she is. Like she gets some development at the very end of the film where it just doesn't matter anymore. And the beginning of the movie paints you exactly what the movie is. It's just Liam Neeson munching on Viola Davis's face.
Nice.
All right.
And it's very off-putting. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It's aight.
All right.
I'll pay money for
Cool. Speaking of the Coen Brothers.
Right. That's kind of why I was.
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs.
Shot here in New Mexico. Hey, New Mexico
Tell me
film.
about it. I think I watched a trailer for it.
Yeah, no, we saw. It's
We
because
did?
where's the guy? He walks away and his little dust cloud's still there.
Yes,
It's that one.
Yeah,
The
does he
little-
like pat him or something?
Yeah, he does something.
I love the Coen Brothers.
I do too.
I love them so much.
Okay, so I guess it's basically a Western, but it's not quite a movie. It's
like-
sort of a serial,
like a Twilight Zone,
10-part
Western
deal.
Twilight Zone kind of thing.
So there's
and that it's like
no, well, there's a
individual
lot
stories?
of intersecting storylines. It's
Yeah.
all one big story.
Gotcha.
And I'm not really outside of that. I don't know much about it other than Buster Scruggs is the main character, but there's all these other characters kind of moving in and out.
Hey, it comes out
around.
today. We can find out right now.
Yeah. Oh, it had a limited theatrical run.
Okay.
Because the Oscars are being bitches, and they're like, no, Netflix can't be the
I don't really blame the Oscars for that. I'm just going to be real honest about that.
Why?
I get, Netflix movies deserve the same amount of attention as, a movie that gets a theatrical release. But to me, it's kind of like the popular film category.
Yeah, but they got rid of it.
Good.
Yeah.
It just seems
they retracted it.
It just seems like there's no risk in making a movie on Netflix.
I don't know, man.
That's what Adam's.
He was just talking about how he's working on it. He was working on
No,
a show.
I didn't work on it. I just knew I know people. Okay. However, Coen Brothers did an interview, and they talked about this very issue.
Yeah.
And so the one part is it's a little hypocritical for the Oscars to say, "Oh, you need to make movies in movie theaters," when really all they do is get screeners and take them home and watch them in the fucking DVDs.
And to be fair, the Oscars, it's not about the best film; it's about who pays the most.
Exactly. And the other point they brought in was people in that are making the big movies now. They want Iron Man. They want Marvel movies. They don't. Nobody's making these kind of movies. Anymore. Nobody's taking chances except Netflix.
A lot of directors have been saying that.
So why not? Why not?
Fair point.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I mean, they raised some good questions.
In a just world.
There you go.
And it's really just a sign of the Oscars not adjusting.
I think
it's
so.
It's a sign of them
why they
being-
tried to do the popular film category.
It's a sign of them being old white people.
We don't want to nominate Black Panther for Best Picture, so we'll make this popular film category.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. And it garners them more viewers. I think that it was the Emmys this year that had like an all-time low.
Yeah, and that's the other
viewership.
thing. The Oscars are languishing.
They're
Like
trying to
every
keep up.
year,
They're trying
every
to keep
year
up.
there's a drop off.
Yeah, people would
to-
not want to. People would rather be watching Netflix than.
I haven't watched the Oscars in like at least 10 years.
I haven't watched the Oscars since No Country for Old. No, since The Artist won Best Picture.
Okay.
Since it was No Country for Young Men.
Yeah. Which, I mean, The Artist totally deserved it, but I think that was the last time I actually watched the Oscars all the way through.
We watched the Oscars last year here on Screen Source. It was long.
I know. And I was very
long.
irritated with who won Best Picture.
That's actually something that they're cutting down this year. It's one of the promises they made. It's going to be like 2.5 hours instead of 3.
But then they're getting rid of they're getting rid of like the technical awards and
Yeah,
stuff
they,
like
then
that.
they push more of those to the side, and those awards still exist. It's just that now they're in the commercial, where what would be a commercial break. Yeah. I mean, it's becoming outdated.
Yeah, they should just stop doing the Oscars.
What do you think though about awards for film? And
I think
television?
I mean, like, I guess just stop televising the Oscars.
Okay, awards for television, yes, but what the Oscars has become is this patting on the back.
Yeah.
Look at this achievement.
It's not
Look
a
at
real
where-
award
yeah.
ceremony.
I think if it was more open, if they had a wider pool of people that were voting, that are part of the voting system, that we got just some good stuff in there.
I just think it's ridiculous that The Shape of Water is the first like out there movie that won Best Picture.
Yeah, okay, Signs of the Lambs.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Chicago.
Fargo.
Yeah. Fargo didn't win.
Didn't they?
No, Fargo went up again. I think that was the year Fargo was 1994.
So yeah, but here's the thing though. If you made a point right now though, is that like it's really hard to figure out. Like there's like 5 in the last 20 years that are like that outside of the circle of December release films.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like District 9 got nominated.
Right.
I know, but The Dark Knight didn't. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit. That's what we're getting at. That's what we're getting at.
Until the Oscars finally correct this wrong, where they're like, and the winner of Best Picture is, we're fixing a mistake a decade later.
Yeah,
Dark Knight.
Right.
No,
right,
well,
right.
I mean that's what they did with Scorsese.
Oh, The English Patient won Best Picture.
That's what they did with. Okay.
And it came out in like 96.
96.
Okay, yeah.
Fargo was up though against Jerry Maguire. That's a good year. That's a good year.
Secrets and Lies is actually pretty good.
And Cohen for Fargo. Cool. All right. Ballad of Buster Scruggs. What are we giving it?
I'm giving 85.
85. I like that.
All right. Let's do it.
Because Coen Brothers films are kind of out there.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to be.
And this looks more like Oh Brother Where Art Thou than No
yeah.
Country for Old Men.
Plus, it's not.
Yeah,
quite
this is not a
movie. You know, it is still serialized. I mean, it's episodes. It's episodic.
And it's comedy first.
Sure.
Tim Blake Nelson's in it, and I love Tim Blake Nelson.
God. He's Buster Scruggs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think he's going to be in all the episodes.
I think
I think he's more. I mean, he might be like the wraparound.
Sure.
He also helped
yeah.
write it, I think.
Oh well, there you go.
All right, let's move on to another slide, which just has a couple other things that I think are notable that we should mention, but not necessarily score. We have At Eternity's Gate. Did you guys see the trailer for
What's
this
that
one?
That's
is that the Van Gogh one?
Yeah, that's the Van Gogh one,
I'll
starring
see it
Willem
because
Dafoe.
yeah, obviously because I love Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is pretty amazing.
Doing his thing.
I like that Willem is willing to do a lot of indie film. That makes me. It just makes me happy.
If he does major blockbusters, he's the bad guy every time.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Actually.
Yeah.
He's got the face. Man.
When I before I had actually seen Platoon, when I saw Willem Dafoe was in, I'm like, well, he's the bad guy, right? They actually had to make Tom Berenger ugly so he could be the bad guy. They had to fuck up his face,
right?
So Willem Dafoe seemed more pleasant.
Yeah, this is I don't know that I actually watched the trailer for this. Was it a very artsy trailer? Presumably it was. Was there moving pictures?
Not
No?
quite.
Okay.
It didn't quite go there, but it's a lot of close-ups of his face and his bewilderment looking around at everything.
I do remember that, and he had the thing on his ear.
Yeah,
Okay,
eventually he's cuts his ear off.
Cool. So that's coming out this week. Escape at Dannemora. I didn't hear about it either until recently. It's an 8-part Showtime series, directed and I believe written by Ben Stiller.
Wow.
And if I'm not mistaken, it is a drama.
I'm there.
And it stars Guillermo del Toro and who? Benicio del Toro. Guillermo's moved over.
All those Del Toros look alike to you.
They really do. Yeah.
I don't even. What is it about? Or what's do we have a synopsis?
Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest with you, but our producer's pulling it up right now. Dannemora. It's kind of weird.
I love.
I think it's a war. Is it a war film? Based on the 2015 Clinton Correctional Facility, when two inmates, Richard, Matt, and David Sweat are discovered missing during a 5:17 a.m. bed check at the maximum security Clinton Correctional Facility.
Oh, okay.
Matt was serving 25 years of life. So,
right.
it's about two dudes escaping
Prison Break.
Yeah, prison break film.
All right.
I like the actors.
I don't have Showtime,
I'm Ben Stiller's proven himself time and time again.
Oh, I love Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Greenberg's actually a pretty good film.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't see it either.
It's good. He plays an asshole very fucking well.
Who?
Ben Stiller.
Okay.
He's
a little more true to life, but who knows?
Yeah, I love Ben Stiller.
Sure.
He's phenomenal. I think he's well regarded in the comedy scene, but I think as far as like public opinion goes, I think he's very underrated.
I think he's also, I don't know. I just like, maybe it's just the comedy scene thing, but yeah.
That's why I said
he's
that.
a staple in film and like film.
I know. I just think like people.
Cable Guy's brilliant.
Cable Guy, Zoolander is phenomenal. It's a comedy staple.
Zoolander 2 is not phenomenal.
I refuse to see it.
It's a bad movie. And lastly, A Private War. This one I'm actually very excited about.
It looks good. I think I saw the trailer for this.
Directed by Matthew Heineman, who did two of some of my more recent favorite films, which is Wind River and I think Sicario.
Rosamund Pike plays Solid Snake.
Did I just make all that up? Why did I?
Like he didn't direct.
Maybe it's a starring. Let's see. Why did I think that? Produced by Matthew. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I just made all that up.
You gotta stop smoking so much weed, Dylan.
I'm smoking a lot of weed recently. Did City of Ghosts, Cartel Land?
Cartel Land was good. It was a documentary.
It was? Okay, 2015. Huh. Well, anyways,
never mind.
Did you like the trailer?
It looks good. It's very one of those real life puts you there. She's a war correspondent, and it's kind of her. I don't remember her name. She's a journalist.
Marie Colvin.
Yeah, and it's about her and kind of her what's going on, and in the trailer it kind of shows how she gets that gnarly eye patch, which is like okay.
I'm excited to see her turn a Solid Snake.
And it's 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 performances look pretty good. I didn't know anything about the story, but like I said, it was one of those ones. I mean, yeah, it was real life, real struggles.
Rosamund Pike's great. I'm sure she'll get a whole lot of Oscar buzz about this.
That's what it. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. It's one of those movies, but
like a Bohemian
there's nothing wrong
Rhapsody.
with that.
Yeah,
It feels. The trailer was very fast paced. It feels like you're in it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's
the
fun.
the acting for me just in the trailer was kind of odd or off, but I don't know if it was. And did she have an accent? Did I make that up?
Bombastic, maybe. I think so. Maybe
Yeah.
she's trying to have an accent.
I think it was the accent thing that threw me off. I
maybe.
can't remember, but
where's
obviously my
Marie
memory's
Colvin
bad.
from? As an American journalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worked on Foreign Affairs.
Rosamund Pike's British
She's
as fuck.
British as fuck.
Yeah. So it was her that was throwing me off.
Yeah.
Movie.
Sure. Yeah.
So, anyways, I think those are some other notables to be thrown out there. Let's move into our review section of the show, starting with what are you watching? So, what did you guys watch this week? Who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, because I don't want to talk about Outlaw King because it's fine. Outlaw King was fine. I saw AP Bio, which is that new NBC sitcom starring Glenn Haverton of Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Patton Oswalt, and it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, are we in second season now?
Yeah, they just announced the second season. I have a few gripes, and it's just kind of like Glenn Haverton just kind of plays his Always Sunny in Philadelphia character,
Sure.
which is fine. It's why I like Glenn Haverton. It's probably how he got the job.
He's awesome.
I feel like if the show was more of a dramedy and his character was seen as damaged and it was treated seriously instead of for comedic effect.
Is it like Community?
No, it's actually probably a little bit more darker than Community.
Okay.
All right.
My only thing is like it should be treated a little bit more realistically, and it's just not. It's a lot of the awfulness is played for laughs and stuff like that. And again, it is a very funny show. I just feel like it's just ground I've been on before. I've been here before. I've seen these characters before. It's a very smart show. Seth Meyers produced it. Mike O'Brien wrote it. Lorne Michaels is producing it as well. I recommend people check it out. It's better than The Mick. The Mick is terrible. But AP Bio is really good. I binge watched it.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I recommend it. There's a lot of good running jokes. All of the side characters are very funny. It reminds me of Suburgatory a little bit. I don't know if any of you guys remember it was this ABC. It was like this ABC darkish kind of sitcom.
Okay.
That was really funny and really good at the world it presented itself. And AP Bio does that very well. Patton Oswalt is fucking fantastic in the show.
He usually is. Yeah.
But he is very funny in it. I recommend people check it out.
Yeah.
It kind of falls into some of the sitcom trappings. You know, he opens up the show being like, I'm not going to learn anything from you, and you're not going to learn anything from me. And then slowly, oh, look, they're all learning things from each other. Okay. So in a way, it is kind of like Community. There's the show it wants to be, and then there's the show NBC makes it be.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's what I was watching.
Created by Mike O'Brien, known for his work and writer. And
Yeah, he was a
SNL.
SNL cast member for 2 seconds.
Gotcha.
He has the unfortunate distinction of being in one of the worst sketches ever, coincidentally written by Lena Dunham.
Ah, wow. How funny.
Boom.
So he's newer. He's a newer.
Yeah, he's not on SNL anymore, but
But he's not OG SNL.
Yeah,
though.
I think he's married to Cecily Strong. Or was.
Okay, cool. I'll go next. What do you guys want to talk about? I watched The Tower. I watched Bohemian Rhapsody. I was thinking about, I guess, talking about Hip Hop Evolution, which I mentioned to you before.
Yeah. I've seen Hip Hop Evolution.
Yeah, I thought it was a newer Netflix original.
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
not. It's been out.
And because I've done a whole lot. Like when I first started getting into hip hop, I like just dove in and like read.
Are you a late adopter?
Read as much as I could. So when I watched Hip Hop Evolution, other than like a few things, it was kind of just repeating stuff I already knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a late adopter to hip hop?
No, I think it was like I'd always been kind of into hip hop. I tried to be one of those cool kids who didn't like rap, but then I discovered Atmosphere, and I was like, no, rap's great. I'm stupid. I've always been into like since at least like my later teen years. I was really into rap music.
Gotcha.
I just think like stylistically, musically, lyrically, and even in the history, the grand scheme of life, rap music is amazing.
So it's really. Yeah, and I'm a huge fan. I've been probably into hip hop longer than I've been into like rock, and like I've played in a bunch of rock bands, and like my favorite genre is like post-hardcore, which is pretty subgenre. I also listened to a lot of like instrumental post-rock and like just weird shit. But hip hop though was always there. It would come in waves too, as far as like how much I indulge myself. And so more recently, I've been like getting deep into it, and then I saw Hip Hop Evolution. I was like, this looks like fun.
Have you ever read Hip Hop Family Tree?
Mm-mm.
You should.
Yeah?
It's a comic book that is literally about the history of hip hop.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Comic book.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite comic books.
Sounds like fun. Yeah, and it starts all the way from the very beginnings, like before hip hop was anything, when it was disco, before it was even hip hop, in the early 70s or mid 70s. And then moves into, I think most recently in the second season, we're probably now in like the mid 90s, but we haven't gotten in, I don't think, in the late 90s or 2000s yet.
Well, that's okay. That's when kind of that's around the time hip hop started sucking.
Well, no, you say that, but like Atmosphere was a later rapper.
Yeah, but like they're not going to be talking about Atmosphere.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But like we're still coming on the shoulders of giants, and we're going to start getting into Rockefeller Records and
Rockefeller Records, Southern hip hop,
in which I'm all stoked about. And we just got it. Whose names I'm forgetting,
and it's people who grow up in like the shittiest conditions,
right?
With really like their stories are, we had nothing but my dad's records.
It's very punk, like in that it's
hip hop is like punk and hip hop go together.
And not only that, like punkers were like the first adopters. Outside of like black community,
Blondie was like Deborah Harry and Blondie were like the first people to really introduce Grandmaster Flash to white audiences. Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's an amazing and what's so fun about it too, like I don't think I would care if I care to watch a rock documentary, to be honest with you.
It depends on the rock band.
And that's the thing. Or even like history of rock. I don't think I would care as much. Hip hop is so accessible.
Yeah.
And so relatable, and like it's young. It's so young.
And it's a lot more diverse
than
rock.
Well, no, I think that's why I wouldn't pay attention. That's why I wouldn't watch a rock one, because I think rock is more diverse personally.
I mean, in like,
and it's because it's older.
But rock, yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like rock, but rock. If you go back to rock and its roots, and then where it's tracked now, there's not much. There's not much like it's I mean, you go from the heavy and then the hair bands and then
okay.
Grunge. I mean, but like even in the beginning, like all the different, like you're talking about like Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and they were all there doing their own things. After
who is it? It's Bambaataa, Kool Herc, and Grandmaster. Those are what do they call them?
Godfathers of hip hop.
The Godfathers, whatever. Yeah, it's so fun though to learn.
So hip hop rock is kind of dead.
A little bit.
Yeah, rock is
like now.
Yeah, rock is like Imagine Dragons and 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Nah, so
garbage music for moms to listen to.
That's the thing though, is that like when you talk about it though, you're referring to like radio.
Yeah,
like
hip hop is always evolving. Hip hop's still going to be around.
Well,
rock doesn't sound anything like it used to.
I completely disagree with the sentiment that rock doesn't sound anything like it used to, because there's so much music out there, and if you're just listening to the radio, then you have less than 1%.
You're right. We have the Black Keys.
We have the Black Keys.
Well, that's the same with hip hop.
Same with hip hop.
Because I mean, right now the garbage mumblecore, whatever,
dude, fucking SoundCloud is like taking over hip hop.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, you get
and it's on radio now.
If the only hip hop you hear now is radio, it's fucking
garbage.
Yeah. But this doesn't mean there isn't good shit out
I mean, you have like Kendrick Lamar and you have Childish Gambino.
Which is why I
Well,
disagree
and then-
that all the radio stuff is bad too. Honestly, I think there's better radio stuff in regards to hip hop than there are to rock.
Well, I mean that was the point
But
I
there's
was
still
making.
more rock than there is hip hop.
It's not rock, it's country.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. See, that's what's so fun about it. I love learning about it. It's really exciting, and if you and you only have to go back 40 years to get to the beginning of what is like top 3 most popular genres in music. It's like country, hip hop, and rock. At least in America.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's much different. in,
as far
India.
as like American-made music.
Sure. Yeah, so I don't know. Really interesting. Give it a watch. You're gonna have a good time. And it's the fact that it's like hosted by a guy that raps also, I've never even really heard of him.
I don't know who Shad is.
Yeah, Shad.
He's Canadian. Next.
Maybe I'll start listening to his stuff. I'm realizing because I started looking into genres of hip hop too, and alternative hip hop is my favorite.
British hip hop.
No, not British.
Do I want?
Alternative.
British hip hop's pretty good, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, they're
also
pretty.
French
they do-
hip hop's
they do
like
some
really
shit,
big.
yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, what'd you watch this week?
Well, since you touched on it, I did see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
I
Let's talk.
understand where that groan comes from. I understand the critics, bashing it. I think, for me personally, I think it was a good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Why didn't you point out your shirt?
Because this is what I wear, man.
This is what you wear.
But I don't think that it needed all the things that the critics are saying that it didn't have, and I don't think it was even meant to be that sort of movie. It's okay. It's the Queen stories. It's sort of the Freddie Mercury story, and I don't think they were trying to make this hard hitting, this true to life provocative. I think what they were trying to do is like kind of just capture that feeling
Moment in time
of the music.
Okay.
No, I mean of the music, and they they were innovators. They were every single member of Queen has written a #1 song. How many bands in the history of bands can say that?
Yeah, it's usually
every single member has written #1 hits. And that's not even counting like their shit that they just went off the boards with.
So you're saying what critics were saying is, hey, we're looking for an in-depth look into these people's lives, and you're saying, no, I think the intention was to make a movie about music.
About that celebrated their music.
Gotcha.
And really,
if that's the case, then I think they did it.
I think they did. I think they did a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a feel-good movie.
I'm not even a huge Queen fan, and I cried at that Live Aid performance.
yeah.
It was so
It was
good.
amazing.
It was
It was
so
amazing.
good. Like
Yeah.
good music's good music, and well performed music is well
Absolutely.
performed music. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not a big Queen fan. Have you listened to that album with that robot cover? It's so bad.
A Night at the Opera is one of the best albums ever made.
A
Day at the
hate
Races
it.
is also real. What?
They did the theme song for the Highlander TV show. Come on.
I didn't even know that was Island.
And Flash Gordon.
Wayne's World.
Yeah,
I love Mike Myers' little part in the movie. That was great.
Oh my gosh, he was a
Yeah.
great character. And I like
Yeah.
that they jumped back
Yeah.
to him
Yeah.
watching the Live
Just
Aid
sitting there.
performance.
Just sitting
No, it's
there.
not that I hate Queen. I'm just not like the
Yeah.
biggest Queen
Yeah,
fan.
sure.
I just don't
Sure.
get. It's like saying
How
you
could I
hate
not?
Queen. Just like what?
No, I listened to the better version of Queen.
Oh, you shut the fuck up.
Do you know what they're called?
You shut the fuck up.
Do you know what they're called?
What?
Foxy Shazam.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I got you. We both are huge fans of that band.
Love Foxy Shazam.
People compare them to Queen, though.
Yeah, but that's because Queen did it first.
I get it.
My only thing with this is, I guess I do want the in-depth look at Freddie Mercury, the person.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And they didn't do a bad job looking into his life, though.
And so when people are calling this like the best movie ever made, I'm like, if it's just, like, if I
wrong
go
with
see
that?
this at the theater and it's like, cool, I saw that, I never want to see it again, that's fine. But to me, like, I think Walk Hard kind of killed the Rock biopic. Like, if you're gonna make a biographical film about a singer, first off, Rami doesn't sing his songs, which I think Walk the Line made it unforgivable to not do that.
Okay.
Because
Ray.
yeah, but Joaquin Phoenix sang, and even if he doesn't sound exactly like Johnny Cash, at the very least he did it.
Counterpoint: the Buddy Holly story.
Well, yeah,
Did you see
but
that?
Gary Busey's fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear Gary Busey.
Nobody
sing.
wants that.
Just like
No-
I don't want to see Dennis Quaid sing.
that.
So Raimi
Exactly.
didn't sing at all.
No,
No.
but
I'm okay with it. It was convincing.
And
It
again,
was
I stand
convincing.
by it. They should have stuck with Sacha Baron Cohen. I know why it didn't work out, especially hearing your review of it.
That's so difficult because I love both of them
Right.
so much. Mr. Robot
that-
is one of the best shows on television, and Sacha Baron Cohen is a living legend.
I still say they can make that movie.
Yeah.
They can, it can exist, and this movie can be this movie.
I guess
you
I
know?
also just don't like the idea of a band cherry picking what stories go into their.
That's that. Yeah.
It's
You know
kind of like
what?
the Beatles.
That
Why
would be
will
my one. That would be my one critique.
If
of
Sacha
it.
Baron Cohen was in this, then he wouldn't have made Who Is America, which is an amazing television
sure.
show.
I don't know. I am personally like on the side of like skipping this just because like if it's a Red Box or a Netflix, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to pay $10 to see
I will
this.
say for the performance pieces, it's kind of a theater experience. They spent a significant time on that Live Aid performance, probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like almost the whole set.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Well, their Live Aid performance is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like Raimi's?
I thought he was fantastic.
I have to eat those
was
words
good.
I've said. I said on trailer reactions that I didn't think it was going to be very good, and everyone's saying it's amazing.
I don't think I'd say amazing.
I don't like. I think the expectations for it is to be like, oh, this great. You
Sure.
know, like I said,
This movie had
I
a
think-
lot of hype.
I think what it is. Yeah. I think what it is and what it's trying to be. I mean, I think it succeeded. And like I said, it's not because it's not the Freddie Mercury story.
Sure.
You know, and it never like meant to be. Of course, he was a big part of it. And they in the movie they kind of touch on the fact that he kind of overshadowed the group, you know, and yeah, I mean, yeah,
And kind of in that case too, the movie overshadowed. Like in the movie, he even overshadowed. Yeah, like they overshadowed the rest of the group in the movie. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, but like I said, I don't think that was really. I think all along what they were trying to do is like capture that the feeling of Queen and you know what how innovative they were and you know and
I'm surprised
like,
they stuck with
like I
Bryan
said,
Singer.
I agree that having the actual band members be a big part of it might have taken away from it, and some of the creative licenses too.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, there's that. There's that. If like I said, I still think you could make the Freddie Mercury biopic, and it would be its own thing. You know.
I'm just over the generic rock biopic. I want something new. I want something different.
Okay.
Like I
That's
think
not bad.
I think
that's fair.
Straight Outta Compton really kind of like put music biopics on blast.
Although that they had the same problem with the actual people, because Dr. Dre was like a superhero in that movie. And
Well,
he's not.
have you heard
Dr.
Dre is a superhero?
Well, he is now. He's all jacked and
I fucking love.
But I mean,
fucking love Dr. Dre.
as far as like the events that went,
Yeah.
like, it painted him in a lot more positive light than
Ice
actually,
Cube's a rebel.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, like, Dr. Dre never punched anybody. Dr. Dre never smoked weed. You know, all of that stuff. So yeah.
Wasn't he like? No. Yeah. Well, who was Dr. Dre picked up by?
Dr. Dre picked himself up.
What do you mean?
Was it? Oh, he was the. Okay. I was just
what
wondering.
are you talking about?
Death Row Records. Not Death Row Records.
He went to Death Row.
Yeah.
Went to Death Row. Okay, never mind. I was listening to the last podcast on the left about the Tupac and Biggie thing, and they talk a lot about Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Directed
He was
by.
definitely a pioneer.
I would love to.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my
But
God!
I'm just
Early
saying.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Did you hear? I don't know.
The Wrecking Crew.
Oh my God! It's so weird.
Yeah, man. Hip hop is like
Hip Hop Evolution.
how hip hop intersects.
Yeah.
How the multiple branches of every artist involved in hip hop is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's
Chuck
insane.
D was a radio DJ before he and Flavor Flav became
God,
Public
Chuck
Enemy.
D has the best voice.
Yep.
Chuck D is one of the best rappers of all time.
You can't get a voice like that again. Anyways, this movie was directed by Bryan Singer, who's done like every X-Men movie.
I can't.
And okay, there's I think maybe the movie might have suffered from that too, because he actually recused himself. They weren't all the way done.
Mm-hmm.
That always
He was fired.
okay. So he was fired, and there's
But that always hurts
times
films.
That
That always hurts
yeah,
films.
That's one of those things you can't really.
Even in Rogue One, you can tell when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also produced
Solo.
Trick or Treat and The Taking of Deborah Logan, 2 very underrated Halloween movies. They're so good, and nobody's watched them. Makes me very sad.
Yeah, Trick or Treat is awesome.
And a bunch of television, it looks like, too. Well, maybe not a bunch, but a handful.
Enough.
Enough. Web series, H+, the digital series. Anyways. Yeah, overall, I'd give it a B.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. My family enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, good times, good times.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's what we are all watching. Are we into our last segment of the show? No, we are into required viewing, which we haven't really been able to do much of.
I named Anchorman 2 the new one.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did anybody watch it? Do you know?
No, because neither Charlie or Lexi are here. It's fine.
I'd say let's not go into. Has anybody seen Jinro?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
You hated it.
I did. Yes. I don't want to go into it.
Just pick a new one.
Well, I don't even know if we'll get anybody to like watch the new one. So, like, just because I don't know when the show is going to be filmed next.
Right.
I think it might be Sunday. I think it might be next week. So, I don't know. Like, assuming we're all here next week.
Things are up in the air.
Things are up in the air right now. But assuming... What?
Up in the air? So good.
Is that the one where...
George Clooney, Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, I liked that one.
Anna Kendrick's phenomenal in that movie.
She's great.
It's all about the relationship on planes, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Very emotionally devastating ending.
I don't even remember the ending. Don't tell me.
The plane crashes.
Oh.
But nobody was in it, so it's okay.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just skip required viewing, and then if we can figure one out later on, we'll do it. But anyways, let's move on to our last game.
Here we go.
We do a game every week. This week it's Last War Film Standing. We have a handful of war films here, or films about war, something to that effect. And we are going to eliminate these one by one until the very last war film standing is the best one of all time. Stan, do you want to list those off for me?
So we have, in no particular order, because I don't know which way we're going to go. I'm just going to one. Hurt Locker, Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, Full Metal Jacket, and Apocalypse Now.
Okay. I think we should go in order of producer, Connor, me, and then Stan would get the final choice.
Okay.
There are 5 of them, and there's only 4 of us. So someone's gonna have to go twice.
No, there's 4 of us.
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. That means maybe Stan will go
first.
twice.
I'll go first.
I've only seen half of these. No. I just haven't seen
I've
Apocalypse.
seen
That's the
all
only
of
one I
them.
haven't seen. Anyways, go ahead. Go first.
I'm going to
eliminate,
and I'm gonna catch.
What's
so
up? Why are you
much shit
laughing?
for this?
Oh, are you gonna eliminate the best one?
I don't know that it's the best one, but I'm gonna eliminate the one everybody's gonna be like, "What?"
I think I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna give it a Full Metal Jacket.
Yes,
I'm okay with that.
Only the first half of it's good.
It's basically 2 movies in one.
It's a good movie, and I don't dislike it. But the thing is, it's a British man's view of what the Americans did in Vietnam.
Kind of like the
well,
first...
okay.
At least it's slightly more objective.
I mean, it is, but I mean, it like you said, it's 2 different movies.
It's just 2 different movies.
It really just doesn't.
It's not interesting.
I think it's an interesting film. I definitely though think that what was he thinking when he decided to completely switch tones?
Yeah,
It's so
the
weird.
first half is really, really good, and then all of a sudden the second half of the movie starts, and I'm going, is that Adam Baldwin? Is Adam Baldwin in this movie?
Yeah.
And it doesn't get much better after that. And then there's the weird sniping scene, and then it ends with them all singing the Mickey Mouse song.
I think
That's
oddly
what I mean.
enough,
That's what I mean.
you happen to be in the one room full of people that are okay with your choice.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine with me.
because I think most people.
Full Metal Jacket.
It's a good
love
movie.
that
I
movie.
mean, it's a good movie, but it's not the best.
As far as Kubrick films go, it's like bottom of my list, right before 2001: A Space Odyssey.
What are you getting rid of next?
All right. Well, he got rid of the one I wanted to get rid of.
Okay.
So I'm going to get rid of Hurt Locker.
Okay.
It's not very good.
No, it's not.
It's fine. War is Hell. Jeremy Renner's pretty good, but I think they gave it to I think they gave it Best Picture so Catherine Bigelow could shove it in her ex-husband's face.
I think they gave it to
Kinda.
her because it's maybe the best war film ever made.
There's
That's
no
probably
way.
why.
There's no way because
That's
you haven't
probably
seen the
why.
best war film ever made.
All right. Well, I haven't, and I'm getting rid of Apocalypse Now.
Fuck you.
That's right. That's what you fucking get
Oh.
for eliminating Hurt Locker,
Good.
which is like fucking amazing.
Apocalypse Now is
I'm fine with
fantastic.
it. I hate Apocalypse Now.
It's so good.
Is it like
no, but you know why? Because
yeah, why?
what we know as Apocalypse Now wasn't the final Coppola vision. The Redux actually was, which is supposed to be more of what he was going for, is kind of like a pro-war movie.
I'm not. No, the first
but I'm just so he's
You're
not
a
solely
pro-war.
responsible.
I'm pro Apocalypse Now.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, he's not responsible for what Apocalypse Now is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
He's
okay.
he pulled an amazing performance out of a fat, uninterested Marlon Brando.
Pretty much, yeah. You know,
It's endlessly quotable.
I don't even think Marlon Brando was that great in it.
I thought
he looks like,
he looks like shit.
Before you choose the last and best war film standing, I just want to ask your producer why you haven't seen any. Like, are you not into war films? It's not a genre for you.
One of the two genres I do not. I will just not.
It's always kind of the same movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's always war is hell.
Nah, Hurt Locker is very different than the rest of these films.
How?
In that it's completely about the single psychological effect and post effect also, like PTSD stuff, which they don't focus on a ton of.
And
the
yet
other
you don't
ones.
like Brothers.
Right.
I hate Brothers. I fucking hate Brothers.
These are classics, and I should probably watch them sometime.
Apocalypse Now.
That's true. That's
you
true.
Don't have to.
This and slavery films, I just do
Not for you.
they're the same thing.
I'm not a huge horror film fan. I get you.
Yeah, everybody's got their genre, right? All right, what are you getting at here? What is
I'm gonna get rid of Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna give it to Saving Private. I'm gonna give it to
Ryan.
Spielberg.
I'm not surprised, honestly. I feel like that was like the last biggest war film.
It's a great movie.
I think it's like
a
the
really
one
great
that
movie.
when everybody
Even
tries
today.
to make one. Well, I think that's when people try to make war film today. Is it as good as Saving Private Ryan?
No.
That's
It
tough.
never is.
It's tough. What came out last year? What was the big one last year? Dunkirk. Thank you. Yes, and that was a good movie.
It was good.
Yeah,
It's not Saving Private
it's
Ryan.
not Saving
good.
Private Ryan.
Not
but
by
it was
a long
different.
shot.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that it was different.
But just okay, go ahead. No,
That movie used to give me nightmares, man.
Nice.
I watched that way too young, and that
all right.
scene where he's like, they have the silent fight.
Yeah.
And they're fucking
yeah,
the
yeah.
knife
Oh my
goes
God!
into
On
him.
Blu-ray,
Ugh.
I own that movie on Blu-ray, and there are people whose heads are getting blown clean off that I never.
You can see, yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That
Spielberg,
movie's nuts.
as much whimsy as he likes to pump into every single one of his movies, he's also has no problem making something.
Spielberg's
fucked
a
up.
genius. He's just he's
good.
made
good.
he's like
Munich
owned
is one of my-
genres.
is I think it's very underrated.
He's
But-
responsible
but
for
he's-
90%
but
of my childhood.
Munich
too.
is like pretty brutal, like violence.
Never saw it,
And
never
it's,
saw
like,
It's-
that's pretty
it-
good.
I don't like Dark Spielberg. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, no, he goes
Schindler's List.
there. Right. Yeah.
Now I have two questions. One of them, which movie did I leave out of this list?
The Dirty Dozen.
I don't even heard of that.
Right.
Who's that?
Yeah.
What about-
You pretty much covered. I think
covered it.
Glory might be the only one you missed.
Maybe. Yeah.
haven't
Maybe.
seen
Yeah.
that.
It's like a big.
Glory's-
horror movies.
Glory's
good.
really good.
Glory's good.
Even though
I
Matthew
have
Broderick's
seen
in
that
it.
one. I miss like the Civil War movies.
Yeah,
I think that's what I didn't. put
Most
in
of
here.
them are skippable.
Yeah.
Glory's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the
Did you see Enemy at the Gates? That's actually pretty
seen
good.
that either.
But that's only because I have no idea about. It's about the Russian side.
Yeah.
Of what
Thin Red Line.
Yeah.
I didn't put in Tropic Thunder.
Born on the 4th of July. Yeah. Right. That would have been the.
Would Schindler's List count?
There we go.
What's that? Stripes.
Stripes.
No.
Stripes.
Stripes is not a war movie.
Stripes.
I know, these are
Stripes is bad.
I actually don't like Stripes.
Paths of Glory.
I got the good
No,
ones.
well,
All right.
Paths of Glory and two Kubrick movies like I think are better than Full Metal Jacket.
All Quiet
Paths
on the
of
Western
Glory,
Front.
And then the other one was Strange Love.
You know what? I probably just put all the ones I've seen,
That's fine.
And
That's
Apocalypse
fine.
Now.
except for
That's fine.
Apocalypse Now. Yeah. And then my favorite question is, what would you have chosen?
Honestly, like, I would have gone with Saving Private Ryan probably.
Okay.
To me, like, Apocalypse Now just aesthetically is a beautiful film.
That's
and,
great.
and
Yeah,
there are
that's
some
good.
like there's that scene where
When did it come out?
like the 70s.
70s, 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like right after the Vietnam War.
Okay.
There's
No,
this,
70s.
There's
Yeah.
this,
Kubrick was 80s.
yeah, there's
Full Metal
this
Jacket
scene
was 80s.
where this guy gets impaled by a spear, and Martin Sheen's character, who's led these guys on this death mission, this suicide mission, basically. The boat captain who gets impaled by the spear hates Martin Sheen's character. Martin Sheen stares over him, and he just starts trying to drag Martin Sheen into the spear to kill him. And it's
Jesus
so
Christ.
fucking unsettling.
That's like the Saving Private Ryan scene, honestly, where he's like pushing
and
that knife.
I think Marlon Brando's character is fantastic, especially considering all of the bullshit the director had to put up with Coppola had to put up with just to make the movie.
Who's the lead in Black Hawk?
What's his name?
Nobody talks about that dude anymore.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
There's a lot of like random Ewan Griffith's in that movie. Tom Hardy's in it.
Tom Hardy's in it.
Ewan McGregor's in it.
I don't remember any of these people
a bunch
in
of British
it.
dudes are
Everybody, every white British dude's in that movie.
Now that I think about it, I do like that Full Metal Jacket, like kind of represent, like it's very 80s.
Oh yeah.
It looks like an 80s film.
I just think like it falls apart pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like halfway through, it gets very dumb.
Yeah. It's
honestly,
it's fun. It's fun.
What if it started off with that halfway through point? I think they just would have been good as two separate.
It should have
movies.
just been about a boot camp. It should have just been about that.
Sure, like Stripes.
Yeah, but good. Stripes is terrible.
I don't like Stripes either, though.
Stripes
honestly.
has like 2 funny moments, and they all involve Harold Ramis.
Mine would have been The Hurt Locker. Obviously, I was pretty honest about that. But that also that changed my view on war films. I think like that they could be done differently.
Sure, but then like the war it's covering is so different than all these other wars. Too.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
but it was also
really-
the take on it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you'd have to. I think the only thing you could compare Hurt Locker to is like American Sniper.
Right.
And I didn't watch that.
It's stupid.
I don't want to. There's too much behind it.
Like I said, Clint Eastwood only makes one type of movie now, and it's crusty white guy movies.
Right.
It's pro-America, American stories, and it's about Americans getting fucked with by minorities.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Brown peoples.
Well, and you would have gone with Saving?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Honestly, Saving Private Ryan to me is like
it's a good story. It's a good
Quintessential.
movie. It's very
it's so
visceral.
well. Everybody,
you know?
everyone talks about the first 14 minutes, and
There's so
Jesus
much more to it.
Christ,
Yeah. That last battle is amazing.
The first 14 minutes is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch Fury?
I did.
No, I didn't see
I did.
Did you like it?
It's all right.
I didn't.
All right. Brad Pitt's cool. He's all right.
I don't think I liked it, but I honestly think about the shots and a lot in my
It was
head.
good. It was
And
well
I think
made.
It was well made.
It was well made.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
I think it was just the characters.
Brad
and stuff
Pitt.
that threw me off.
Yeah.
All right, and that is it for Screen Source episode 56. Thank you both so much for being here. Thank you, Fernando. Thank
Glad
you
I got
to
to
our
come back.
producer. Make sure to check out his blog at Sandia Film Journal. Just type that into Google; it'll come right up. Let's come back soon and watch some more trailers and hang out and talk about film and television.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe button below. That helps us now that we are partners with YouTube. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much, honestly. Like, share, follow all of the verbs. Make sure to check out Connor's show. You want to plug?
Yes. Most of the time, it's every Monday, but tomorrow, live, it's Sit Down and Pile Drive, the best wrestling podcast on Color Circuit. Because it's the only wrestling podcast on Color Circuit. Myself and my co-host Connor Griffiths, we get down and dirty and we talk about professional wrestling, except tomorrow, because tomorrow is a pay-per-view that we really, really want to watch. So tomorrow we're going to be live streaming our reactions to the pay-per-view as it's happening. NXT War Games. You want to be there. Cool. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be eating snacks. Everybody's welcome. If you've never seen a wrestling pay-per-view before, Dylan.
It's been a long time, but I'd be down for the next one.
Yeah.
I can't do tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that breaks my achy breaky heart. If you wanna come and hang out and watch it with us, that's what we're gonna be doing, because I'd rather be doing that than talking about how Nia Jax needs to stop punching people in the face. Tune in. We also have another show. It's the worst show on Color Circuit, Party Circuit. Every Sunday we play multiplayer games and we shoot the shit and talk about disgusting things. So check that out on twitch.tv/Color Circuit Live.
Now cuck free. You have anything to plug?
Hopefully.
No.
Nah. All right, cool. What do I have to plug? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be at the New Mexico Film and Media Industry Conference.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's way too long. 2018, Crown Plaza Hotel. I will be a panelist for the new media experts with a bunch of people who are actual experts.
Yeah.
It's weird how you could fool people.
I've been doing it my whole life, man.
Just doing a lot of nodding.
I'm just gonna wear like my glasses the whole time, like Tommy Wiseau, and I'm just gonna fucking.
Hey, I talked myself into being a small business owner for 2 seconds by bullshitting.
There you go. That's what you do. That's what you do. And we're doing it here on Color Circuit, representing that CC.
I don't like that at all.
Nope. All right. I'll try something new tomorrow. I'll come up with it on the spot. I'm an improviser.
You and I need to hang out. I'll teach you some catchphrases.
All right, that's fine. How about this? Does this look good?
No, dude. It looks like you're.
God damn it! I don't know. Does this look good?
It even makes the
it's
noise.
a C and a C.
It even makes the noise.
All right, whatever. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Guys,
thanks for coming down, man.
I gotta go home.
Yeah.
I've had a long day.
You had a long day. You're on set.